This conference will now be recorded.
So hope you are able to see my screen, right?
Yes,
So before that, we need to start the agent. Can you start? Can you start it from your portal, the agent and all, uh, logging? You want me to do that?
you need password, right?
Yes, I need a password and portal detail once again. Okay, leave that. I'll run on the cloud hosted agent today. Okay.
Okay.
So uh, we'll see that we are discussing about a pipeline yesterday, right? So we have created our first pipeline. Okay. And what we are doing in this pipeline, so we are copying a code and publishing it to artifact, right? So you know that know the concept, right? Why you need to copy the code?
Yes, yes.
Why we need to copy the code?
Like we need to deploy, add to the container from deploy to add to the containers
Oh, sorry, come again.
from developer to we need to deploy and add to the content, create the pipeline.
No, we can directly download it from there, right?
Okay.
Why you need to get this from? Any idea?
No,
No.
no, no.
Okay, so we need to download the code from a portal. Right. Yeah, we need to download the from repository. The reason behind is suppose if you are working on the code, right? So suppose if you are running the pipeline, at that same time, if someone will go and change the pipeline, okay, has
Yeah,
changed
someone
the
will
code
go
and
and
all.
change code. Yeah.
So it your pipeline will be impacted, right?
Yes, yes.
So that is the reason we need to
Download the
download it locally. Okay, so suppose because you are taking it from the repository, right? And in your organizations, you will not be the persons, right? There will be multiple engineer working together, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so if the multiple engineer working together, in that case, how we can do that? We need to make sure you download your copy of a code locally, right?
Yes.
Okay, and why we need to publish this code into artifact?
Sorry, I'm not getting.
No idea. No, no, you have to
No.
tell that so that your concept will clear, right? So what you are understanding, your concept is clear. See, your basic concept will not be clear, then that will be the tough, right? So working with the complex pipeline and all. See, I'll tell you once again. So we need to download the course because I have explained you like there is a two mandatory tasks, right?
Yeah.
Two mandatory tasks in your CI pipeline. The first task is you have to check out the code, right? So
Okay.
the reason being why we need to check out the code is, see, if some persons will commit the code at the same time, it will impact your pipeline, right? So the simple reasons what we do, we create a local copy of our code, and we work on that, right? Because it is locally created, so we don't have to worry about that, right?
Okay. Someone will create because.
Yes, so we don't have to worry about that because you have created a local copy of your code, right? And the reason
Mm.
second is why you want to publish the code in Artifact is like that. So for the first reason is your release pipeline will take the code from Artifact rather than taking it from the repository directly. The one first reasons, right? The second reason is suppose in case of like any other languages you are using, like if you are using Java, Python, or any other languages, computer languages, in that case, what will happen? We'll get a build package, right? So suppose if I written a Java applications, after building a Java application, we'll get a jar file, right? So that is not something about the code. So that we can maintain the various versions of of a build, right? In situation, suppose you got a situation, your current version is not working properly, right? So what you can
Okay,
do, you can quickly jump to the previous versions, right? We can do a rollback and all, and we can shift to the previous version. So that is the another advantage. That's why we're keeping a copy of your code locally, and also we are copying a code of build packages, right?
okay.
Now get that. So you have work
Yes,
on
sir.
this kind of like a release pipeline, right?
Actually, yesterday I did not got recording section. Today she will
Okay.
send today's section and yesterday's section. Tomorrow I'll practice.
Okay. Just
Recording sections are getting like three recording sections one day like that.
okay, but just make sure you practice, okay? Whatever I am
Oh,
explaining, just do a practice so that your concept will be clear. And do let me know if you're
oh,
getting any further doubt, okay?
okay.
Okay. Now, I have explained you like basically like a two type of pipeline, right? So on the basis of creations, we have a two type of pipelines, the classic editor pipeline and ML based pipeline, right? So ML
Yes,
based
yes.
pipeline is nothing but the automation of a classic editor pipeline, right? And on the
Mm,
basis of functionality, we have a like a common and popular functionality of like a CI/CD concept. CI is nothing but continuous integration. CD is nothing but continuous deployment. Okay. CI will make sure
okay,
that your code will build perfectly, tested it perfectly, and we have a proper code review in place, right? CD will make sure that we deploy your code to the target environment, target server, and all, right? So that is two different concept of like a, and this is the core concept of a DevOps. Okay, the one thing,
okay.
and so today what we'll do now, we have created this classic editor pipeline. See, if you want to convert this
Yesterday.
into ML, how we can do that?
AML, I got it out actually. AML is like a coding or something. What's AML? What is an AML?
Sorry, what is your question?
AML means what is an ML? It's a
What is
code or
ML?
like,
Okay.
yeah, it's an infrastructure or
See, ML is nothing but a scripting languages. Okay, using that we can
okay,
automate many things. So basically, it is used to automate your pipeline. Okay, so now classic editor pipeline is nothing but we have configured everything manually, right? So manually
okay,
is like we don't encourage people to do the things manually, right? Because if you are doing a things manually, there will be like a two three things. So suppose a work is done by a person, there will be chances of a more human error, right? Suppose if you are doing a things by
yes,
yourself, you may do it in wrongly, right? So there will be chances of if work is getting done by codes, yeah, done by machine and all, that will be done perfectly, right? So automation is nothing but we can automate your classic editor pipeline using ML. So you don't have to confuse ML is a scripting language, okay? You are using this ML to automate your classic editor pipeline, okay? Now how we can see, you can write your ML code. We there is a some see, for writing a code, what you have to do first?
writing a code.
You have to write an algorithm, right? There should be
Yes,
some principles related to code, right? So ML also have
yes,
some principles, some concept, and right. So some structure is there, right? So you need to follow this structure. So see, if you're creating a pipeline now, pipeline having a structure, I have explained you yesterday, like what are the structure. So it start with the stages. A pipeline can have a multiple stage. A stage is nothing but like a kind of you have a CI stage, testing. We can separate it out as a testing a step, a stage. Then we have a code review as a stage and all, right? These are the various stages. A stage is nothing but basically your functionality. Okay, if you you want to differentiate on the basis of functionality, because if you're creating as a stage, we have a control on it, right? Whether you want to run it or not, right? So suppose if you have not changed anything major and all, you don't want to run the test this time, so we can uncheck, we can unselect the test stage, and you can run this, right? So you have a always a option, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And see, I'll show you how we can automate that. There is a one way. So see, this tool is smart enough to automate your pipeline. So see, if you want to
Pipeline.
automate this pipeline, right? So if you'll see a view ML, you have all the, so if you are able to see, right? We are using
Yes,
this
yes.
private
Like
agent
all
and all.
the code will be in this DevOps website only.
Yes, all the keys,
Like
but you can create your own code also. I'll tell you. So first, I'll see you see how we can generate your code. The first thing, right? You need to know, right? See, nowadays we have a like an inbuilt functionality. You have heard about like a chat GPT, right? What they do,
yes,
right?
yes.
Okay, basically
Yeah.
they have all the logic in a place. We just have to query it, right? So it's work on the like a query-based system. Similarly, like if you want to, you can generate ML. Okay, you can write the ML code by your own also, right? So first we'll see like how this ML works. So I have generated the ML code, right? So so what will be the file of ML?
Y YML
Yes, so ML extensions, right?
dot,
So
yeah, yes,
I'll
yes.
just create a new folder. Yes, so in the DevOps, this is the pipeline.ml, right? Now whatever generated, I have written it, right? Now I don't want to give this pool name as a private agent, right? Because my agent is not available right now, so I don't want to give the full name as a private agent. So I'm just commenting it. So if you want to comment a multiple line together, how we'll do that? Control and forward slash. Okay, if you want to control and if you want to comment in the ML, and hash will be the comment. Okay, so that's just makes you
Okay. Ash will be a comment.
yes. Now I have created this. Okay, you will see. So if you'll notice here, I have given the trigger equal to none, right? So what does it mean? See, I have told you the pipeline can run in three way, right? Either you can run it manually. Yeah, it can be like a auto trigger, like a continuous integrations enables. Yeah, you can schedule it, right? So suppose if you want to run your pipeline at a 3 o'clock midnight, right? You don't have to wake up at a 3 o'clock in the night, right? What you can do, you can
Yeah.
schedule it, right?
We
So we
can
can do that.
schedule.
Now yes, we can schedule. We can run it manually. Yeah, we can enable a continuous integrations. Continuous integrations means as soon as there will be any changes in your code, the pipeline will detect the changes and it will run automatically. You don't have to do anything. Okay, just make a changes in the code. It will run automatically. This is like a kind of auto features. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now we have a two tasks. Okay, the same tasks what you have created in the classic editor pipeline, we have here the two tasks. One is the copying a file. Okay, it create a local copy of your code and then publish into the artifact. Okay, the same thing. What I'll do now, I'll create a new pipeline and that will be the YAML based pipeline because I have written a YAML code, right? So Azure pipeline, right? Have to select the repository uh, existing with the ML. So see, we have a difference between like a creation of the classic editor and ML. So we just have to select the path to where DevOps.pipeline, right? Continue, save. Okay, just give me 1 minute. See, now I've created this, so let me edit this pipeline. Demo ML pipeline, right? I'll explain all your concepts, so you don't have to worry.
Okay.
So we have got our ML pipeline created, right? Now what we'll do, we'll run our pipeline. See, uh, have you noticed one thing? I have not uh, mentioned the agent here, right? So by default, which agent it will pick up?
The repos.
No, I have explained you like there is a two type of agent, right? One is the cloud hosted agent, and another is a private agent. Okay, cloud hosted agent. If you're working on like a cloud hosted agent, it means the agent managed by the Microsoft. You don't have to do anything. Microsoft will manage your agent. Okay, the first thing. Second thing is a private agent. Means you have dedicated your own. You have created your dedicated server, and we have configured that as agent. Now I have not mentioned anything related to the agent information in the pipeline, right? So pipeline by default, it will pick up the Microsoft managed agent. Okay. It will go and check for this. It will pick up a cloud hosted agent. See, now if you see my pipeline is completed and if I can see that it has done the same job, right? It has published a artifact. If we'll go here, we have a one published artifact, right? If you see here, we have the same thing, the artifact. So there is a difference between classic edit and ML-based pipeline? No, right?
Yes.
No difference. Okay. Then why we need to consider about the ML based pipeline if there is a no difference between classic edit and ML based pipeline?
Like strong speed and all those things, I think.
No, that is a not main reason behind it. I'll tell you the reasons why you want to create a ML based pipeline. Okay. See, if you're creating a classic editor pipeline, every time we have to do the same thing, right? Every time we have to, if you want to create a new one, every time you have to do all these confirmations again and again, right? The first thing.
Okay.
And uh, the second thing is if you are creating an ML based pipeline, we can easily recover your pipeline. So suppose if your pipeline got deleted, okay, if a pipeline got deleted, you have seen that creation of ML pipeline just took like a few seconds, right?
Yes, yes.
Creation of ML pipe just take a few seconds because we have just called this file. Okay, so suppose if a pipeline got deleted accidentally, you don't have to worry about that, right? Suppose if you have a multiple tasks inside your pipeline, you don't have to create it manually again because your pipeline will be there. Even that, because you are creating as a code, so it will create the history also, right? If you want to see like the versioning and all, everything will be available here, right? We can get it from the previous versions and all, right? And modification will be very easy. If your pipeline will got accidentally deleted, we can recover it like a just with a 2 and 3 click, right? And we can do lot many things with the ML based pipelines. So suppose if you want to work with the multiple stages and all, it is very difficult to configure a stage in the classic editor pipeline. So ML based pipeline easily support your multiple stage. We can create a multiple tags and all these things. So it is like about your automations and all. So if have to, you don't have to. And suppose if have to create a similar pipeline, okay, suppose if you have to create a 4 and 5 similar pipeline, so you don't have to do the scratings and configurations again and again. What you can do, you can just copy your code, take the reference of your ML, and you can create another pipeline, right?
Yes.
Yes, so that is the few advantage of working with a ML pipeline.
One.
Now I'll show you like how we can run this. So how we are running this pipeline, we have it, we are manually running it, right? Right?
Yes. Hammer. Classic is
So
manually running, right?
no, everything we have manually run it. So if
And
you'll walk about like a ML, if you'll talk about the ML, you have run it manually, right? We have run it
mm,
manual. This is a manual run, right? Run pipeline.
yes.
We have clicked here,
Yes.
run pipeline and all. If you'll go inside a pipeline, also it will say manually run by someone. I have run it, so it is showing you manually run by me. Right. Now, how we can, so I have tell you, you can run your pipeline in three way in Azure DevOps. One, you can run it manually whenever you need it. You just go hit, trigger it. Okay. The first thing. The second thing, uh, whenever you need it, you can schedule it. So suppose if you want to run it in midnight and all, you can schedule it, right? So the second thing. Third thing, you can configure a auto run in the sense whenever there will be any change in your repository, okay, it will trigger your pipeline automatically. You don't have to worry about like a triggering and all these things. Just make a commit. It will it will be based on your commit ID, right? I have explained you, right? Every changes will be associated with a commit ID. So as soon as there will be any changes in your code, as soon as there will be any changes in your file, your pipeline will automatically trigger, okay? And whatever the step is there configured inside your pipeline, it will do all the things. So now I'll show you how we can enable the continuous integrations. So let me do that. You can enable the continuous integration in both the pipeline. Okay, irrespective of either it is a classic editor pipeline, YAML based pipeline, we can enable the CI for both the pipeline. I'll show you how we can enable the CI. Okay, CI is nothing but continuous integrations. Let me do with first with the classic editor pipeline. So we can just edit a pipeline. Okay, go to the trigger option. We have a trigger option here, right? Go to the trigger option, enable the continuous
Enable.
integrations. Okay, so we have a some certain for rules here also. Suppose if you want to provide some filter and all, you don't want to run your pipeline if there will be any changes in the other branch like a dev test and all. You just want to run only if there will be changes in the main branch, so you can just provide the main configurations. If you want to include any other branches, if you want to include any other environment and all, you can add the environment here. So you can include, you can exclude and all. So it is you can set a rule accordingly, right?
Yes. Yes.
So now what I am doing, I am going to enable the continuous integration. So we'll see. I've enabled the continuous integration. So I'll not run this pipeline. Okay, I'll go and change this Terraform code. Okay, so suppose I'm writing this Terraform code. This is to test CI. Okay, I'm making a commit in the sense I'm making some changes in the code. So now I'll go to the pipeline sessions and I'll see what is happening there. Okay, so if you come here, you'll see that it has created one trigger, right? One queue,
Q.
right? Right, see, now our pipeline has went into waitings because we are using a see, this is a private agent we are using, right? Now our private agent is not available, so that it is queued, right? So whenever our private agent will be available, it will pick up that job and it will start running the pipeline. Okay, since our
Okay.
private agent is offline, so it has not triggered the pipeline. If you see, it is waiting in the queue, right?
Yes.
it is like a similar. So suppose if go somewhere and counter is not open, what we'll do? We'll wait in the queue. So it's the same situations. Now we'll do the same thing. Okay, we'll enable the continuous integrations for our IML-based pipeline. We'll see what is happening because our IML-based pipeline is using Microsoft hosted agent. Okay, so I'll go edit this pipeline. Okay, go to the trigger. Okay, I've enabled this. Okay, I'm making a save. Okay. So now I have enabled the continuous integrations for my ML based pipeline. I'll go here and make some changes in the code. Okay. I have made some minor changes in the code. Okay. It has generated a commit ID. I'll go and check what is happening with my pipeline. So if you come here, you can see that it had triggered a ML based pipeline also, right? And it has started running. This time if you see that see it is who has done that. Okay, I have done the changes, right? But this time it is
Yes.
not saying me that I manually trigger, right? This
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
if you'll see this run, if you'll see this is saying that individual CI for C. It is because see here it is saying manually trigger for
Three,
I
four.
here it is saying CI because it has got created. So see your our pipeline has got completed automatically. So that is the concept of CI. As soon as there will be any check-in in the code, it will run your pipeline automatically. So this is all about automations. Okay. So what will do? It will save your time, right? So even though if you're checking your code in the midnight, you don't have to worry about the building a code, testing a code and all. So everything the pipeline will do for you. It will publish the result. If you're happy with the result, just go ahead and deploy the code. If not, then we also have some condition, right? We also have some code coverage of unit test pass, and also suppose our test cases passes more than 80%, then we'll allow our code to deploy into the production environment. If not, then we can set the conditions. We can you can like ignore like a minor test and all, right? Mm. So suppose if some test cases is not very critical and all, even though it is failing, you can bypass that, right? So it depends upon your like a requirement and all. So you can set the requirement accordingly, and you can set the rule for your pipeline. Okay, so do the deployments once there will be like a test coverage more than 80%, yeah, 90%. It is up to you, right? How much you want to consider. So you have to define a threshold value for your pipeline. So it will check with your threshold value. So suppose you if it like something like that. Okay, if you score this much, you will be like a pass and all, right? So like a same situations we can do with your pipeline.
Okay.
Any doubt?
No.
No. Now we'll see how we can create the multiple pipeline with the multiple stage. Okay. See, now what is the task group? I'll explain you the task group.
Yes, group.
See, so
Like task
we
groups, can I say?
mm,
Like
yes.
in both, like both is there, right? Some person will, each person will give some task like that only, right? No.
Sorry, come again.
In both, developer will do some coding like that. If they done or not to do like that, will do, right? Task group also, if the
No,
person is
nothing's related
nothing
to
like,
that. Okay, tax is
okay,
something different. Tax you are getting what is the actual work you are doing here, right? So that is the tax. Okay, here the tax group is suppose this is related to your pipeline. Okay, this is not a lot of task you are getting on also. Suppose you have created this classic data pipeline now, right? So you have created your own tax, right? So if you see here, you have created your own tax, right? If you want to copy your code and all, so you have created your own tax, right? So if you have to do it like for the multiple time or so you need to do it all this configuration again, right? Just select the file folder everything and you need to do
yeah,
again and again, right? How we can manage it automatically? We can just create a task group. So all this setting will be
It's
saved automatically. So I'll create a
it's
task group.
like duplicate setting.
Yeah. Not duplicate setting. I'll tell you. Copy tags. Okay. Now it has converted to the tags group. We'll see. Okay. List tags. Now I'm done. Okay. So if I have to create a multiple types, I don't have to. If I have to create a similar pipeline, I don't have to do all the configurations. What I'll do, let me save these. Okay. Now what I'll do, I'll create another pipeline with the help of tags group. Classic editor, right? Continue. Input is off, right? Your tags group will available here. What tags we have? Copy tags we have created,
Copy
right?
tags.
See, copy tags.
Copy task.
Just add
Okay.
this, and then we have created publish tags, right? You have basically created this public tags,
Public
right?
task.
This one, right? Right.
Yes, yes.
So we have basically automated one level more, right?
Yes.
Raghav, DevOps, tags group, pipeline. Basically, I don't have to select the file folder or else again and again, right? I've just created the tags. It will be available in our like a build package. Okay. And now we are good to run. See, we have created this like a all pipeline. Go to this all pipeline. Raghav DevOps tags. If you'll run, it will do the same thing. Right. How fast it has done, right? You don't have to do
Yes.
the configurations, right? The things and all. So that's why I'm telling you now DevOps is very easy. If someone will explain you in the nice, it is very easy. You don't have to write much code. Yeah, we just have to do integration and all. You just need to know the concept. Okay, you can get your things done easily. See, I've created that. This is a smart way of working. See, now we are familiar about the tax group, right? So now we are
Yes,
familiar about
yes.
the pipeline. We are familiar about the tax group. What is the library? I've explained you the library. Library is nothing but, so suppose if you have a common variable, okay, you can create a variable group. You can call this variable group in your pipeline. I'll show you on next day how we can call the variable group and all. And then release pipeline will cover it separately. And what is the environment? So suppose if you want to, you can create your environment. So suppose if you want, you have a three environment, right? You have seen the branching strategy, right? We have a dev, test, and all, right?
Yes.
So if you want to deploy in dev, you don't have to create a separate pipeline, right? If you want to deploy in test, you don't have to create a separate pipeline. What you can do, you can define your environment in the same pipeline, right? So suppose if you're creating a five pipeline for the like a same job, okay, just because it is you have to deploy in different environment, then your pipeline will be very messy, right? We have to maintain a various pipeline, right? The number of pipeline will increase, then complexity will increase, right? So what you can do, you can create I'll show you. So today I'll show you how we can create the environment. So just create a dev, like how we are creating a branch, right? See, then here you can check approvals and all. So approvals, if you want to add approval, so anybody who want to get this approval here, and
Bro.
in advanced setting, just make sure all approvals, not all approval. What you have to do, we have optional here. Okay, all approvals to approve their own pipeline. Okay, now I have created this. Okay, see, and I'll create another environment. So I don't have to deal with the different pipeline. Okay, I can use the same pipeline to deploy it into my different environment. I can create a different stages inside a pipeline, and we can target a environment. Like if I want to deploy in dev, I'll do with the same pipeline. If I want to deploy in test, I'll do with the same pipeline. Okay,
Okay.
any doubt so far? I'll give a
No.
break. I'll make a shorter sessions today. Okay, and then tomorrow I'll write a ML code, long ML code for you, and then I'll explain you how we can create assets, how we can use the environment and all. So the next two sessions is more for the pipeline is left. One I'll show you how we can call the variables and all in your pipeline, and another session is how we can write a different stage environment and all, how we can create a radio buttons in the pipeline and all. So we'll connect tomorrow. If you are connecting tomorrow for 2 hours, okay, we'll finish this pipeline. Okay.
Okay.
You are available tomorrow, right?
Yes, yes. Sunday I
Okay.
won't available.
Yeah, Sunday I'll also not take. Sunday I also need some rest. Okay.
Jose